In Daniel 9 verse 24, let's break down the 70-week prophecy given to Daniel by God. A day represents 1 year, therefore 70 weeks is 490 days, and this represents 490 years. Similarly, Yeshua was in the wilderness 40 days, and this represented 40 years of the Israelites wandering in the wilderness. The point is, all prophecy has a time period. The purpose is to prepare and enable God's people to get ready for the times. There is a starting point, certain events during the specific time period, and then there is an end point. The start of the 70 weeks, or 490 years, was the command to restore and rebuild Jerusalem. This was given by God to Cyrus in 453 BC. After Cyrus received the instruction by God to rebuild the temple, known as the Second Temple, they started building the foundation. The temple was only completed during King Darius the First of Persia. He was the successor to Cyrus. A side note, King Darius of Mede, in Daniel 5 verse 31, is not the same as King Darius the First of Persia. After King Darius the First reigned, then it was King Artaxerxes of Persia. At this time Zerubbabel was the assigned governor of Judah, and Joshua or Yeshua was the high priest. During their time, the walls and the streets of Jerusalem began to be repaired through the command of Artaxerxes. They continued rebuilding until 404 BC. From the start until this point it was 49 years, in other words, it was the end of Daniel's 7th week. During the next 434 years, which is Daniel's 8th week to the 69th week, they continued building Jerusalem, even during troubled times. Herod, who was called Herod the Great, in the 62 week, that is 20 BC, made significant renovations to the Second Temple and the surrounding area. Even after his death they continued working on the temple, and it was later finished about 46 years later in approximately AD 27. The rebuilding of Jerusalem never stopped. At the end of the 69th week, which was AD 31, the Messiah was cut off. Yeshua the Messiah was crucified and resurrected. The veil in the temple was torn in two. Then there was a pause in the timeline, and 1 week of Daniel's prophecy still remains. During the pause in the timeline, the city that was built and the temple was destroyed. This happened in AD 70 because many Israelites rejected Yeshua their Messiah. Jerusalem was trampled by Gentiles until the times of the Gentiles are fulfilled. Only in 1948, Israel was established as a state. Therefore the time is close for the restart of Daniel's 70th week. These last 7 years, which is still to come, is known as the War Desolations, in Daniel 9 verse 26. Then at the end of the 7 years, Yeshua establishes his reign on earth. Get ready, Yeshua is coming back soon.
Don't forget to subscribe.